Please click the subscribe button and the notification icon. It will help us a lot.
Thank you. Well, it's been a long process, and it wasn't necessarily intentional. It was sort of a natural evolution. I suppose it started with, that whole like wanting to be a Disney animator back in the 90s when like that was the thing that was happening. And so going off of the advice of people who I consider to be very good artists, people like Glenn Keane, I just went and learned draw really well and figured, all right, if I learn like from Michelangelo, well, he was pretty good at drawing, maybe I can learn something from him. If I go learn from Caravaggio, maybe I can learn something about light and dark and contrast and focus. And so I do have classical underpinnings, and I started with realistic drawing, but then when I got out on my own and I was kind of establishing myself as Casey Robin, which is sort of my art name. My full name is Casey Robin Neal, but someone already took Casey Neal, so I had to pick kind of a different name. I found that the stuff that was simpler, people tended to respond to that more, I think because they could imprint themselves on it. It was simple enough that they could see themselves in it. It just suggested an emotion or a scene, and then the viewer kind of fills in a lot. I think also that things that are simple tend to reproduce really well, like especially if you're doing it for product design or textiles. Something with a lot of nuanced shading that's very, very delicate doesn't tend to produce well. And at this point, when I was developing my style, I was working in doing illustration, doing prints, doing things that were meant for print. So I pared it back and pared it back. And then also I was, like when I was at Disney, I was a story artist mainly, but also doing a bit of viz dev. And so from story art, I got this sense that you should make the gesture primary. You should be more concerned with what the character is doing in the scene and how they're feeling than with getting the anatomy right, or the showing how well you can draw hands or muscles or whatever. So I often will simplify things to get a point across so that it's not lost in all this, noodly doodling and frippery. And that's just led me simpler and simpler. I feel like right now I'm in a place where I have gotten this simple style down, and I might want to experiment more and take it a little further back on the spectrum, add in more detail and try something new, because I tend to get bored if I work, if I do too much similar work for too long. So right now I'm thinking maybe a black and white series would be fun, because I tend to use such vibrant color. I wonder what would happen if I took that away. Putting limitations on myself sometimes helps me find my next thing. And actually there was one piece that sort of defined my new style as like, that's it, that's what you should be doing. And it was a present I made for my sister. One Christmas, I didn't have any money for gifts, so I made paintings for everybody. And my sister's favorite animal is the red panda, and she's a redhead. So I painted her holding a red panda, and like, look, it's like you've got red hair, and the animal's got red hair. It's sort of funny. It was a very simple concept. And the style was really warm and really approachable. And my friend looked at it and was like, I think this is your new style. And I'm like, I think you might be right. I'll try with this and see how it goes. And people seem to like it, so. And I like it.